Welcome to the DGTL Growth Podcast, where marketing leaders turn playbooks into pipeline. I'm Suse Barnes. Today, I'm joined by Victoria Rauch, founder and CEO at Luna Wolf Media. Victoria, thanks for being on the show.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Let's kick off by you having us tell the listeners about Luna Wolf Media and what you do at the company.
Currently, we manage digital marketing for the construction industry. And we are focused mainly on the construction industry because of the shortage of tradespeople we have right now and the fact that 41% of our construction workers are retiring. We have no one to replace them. And a lot of very critical construction projects are being put on hold for months at a time, including hospitals, because there's just no one to build them. So I work genuinely with just construction companies to try to bring in those experienced workers, get the pipeline of apprentices going, and, just really train everyone so that we have that skill force eventually.
How interesting. I talked with someone recently in the oil and gas industry, and he was doing marketing for, oil and gas and propane.
Yeah.
And he said it's a similar problem.
It's in
There aren't enough.
Yes. Every industry. I work in pipeliners and, mechanicals and, I think it's the entire industry right now. It was just that these jobs were not things that people were being offered these options weren't open to people after high school. I mean, they were, but they weren't being educated to them. And because of that, we don't have a pipeline of people coming through with these skills. So that's what we're trying to build.
So how are you thinking about developing that new blood coming into the industry?
It's an entirely new concept. So what we decided was, we really needed to change the conversation and we needed to engage everyone involved in that. And it goes all the way back to the teachers and the counselors and the parents to make sure these students know the opportunities that are available to them in these roles. We have welders and pipe fitters making, 6 figures. And once they have gone through an apprenticeship or a training program, they can go anywhere in the country to work. They can continue to advance their skills and get wherever they want to. Whereas in a normal situation, you kind of wait for the company to advance you. So it's a lot of freedom and it's a lot of things that I think kids have been looking for, but we haven't really given them those options. We've said, you're going to college and you're doing this. And even for some people who didn't go to college right away and got interested in it later in life, they can go back and, get certified in one of these trades and really make it work and become a successful career. We have some great success stories.
Do you think there's a perception issue of young high school students even thinking that working in construction isn't considered as?
Yes. Oh, there absolutely was. I mean, there's some blue collar, white collar, dirty job stuff. But the truth is, the guys that I talk to, a lot of times they're 21 and they have a really nice truck and they're managing the job site because they have gone through all of the training and then they've pushed to do some of the business training as well. And now they're, the construction manager on the job site. So there's just so many places that these students can go. You don't have to end up doing the labor every day. You can start out learning the labor and you can start your own business. I interviewed a guy in Atlanta he was a plumber and he decided, I don't really want to be a plumber anymore. And he started a business and now he has 400 employees. It's just, he never went to college. And I've done that. Gone on to LinkedIn and had a couple of really high-end CEOs give me quotes that said, yes, I didn't go to college. Like, I didn't go to a 4-year university. I was trained. And I do think that today we need to have more of a specific skill. Can't just really have a communications degree unless you really know what you want to do and you really, have some skill that others can't find easily.
Right.
I mean, these are essential workers, and I don't think people realize that. But we've had a great response from the counselors and the teachers, and they are really helping us try to communicate this to the students.
Is it nationwide, sort of? Or do
Yes.
you think it's more starting more education around the issue in Georgia?
No, I have accounts all over the country. I've
Hmm.
got,
Okay.
West Coast, Northeast, I've got Florida. It's everywhere. There definitely is a different perception up in the Northeast to work in construction. I think that they've always kind of had a little bit of a better look at it, but they still need people just as badly as we do. And I just
Hmm.
read, now that we have these data centers going in for AI, some of these data centers are being pushed back just because they don't have the manpower. So we're really trying to work to bring that forth because these companies don't want to wait.
Do you think there'll be people coming in from other countries for that reason?
I get a lot of messages on LinkedIn from people looking from other countries. And I think that we would, of course, like for everyone here to have an opportunity towards these roles. But if people don't step up and, find these opportunities and actually, you know, learn and decide that they're not going to do the traditional university, then we may have to. So I'm just hoping to get this information over to them and help them understand that, you know, most of the training is paid. It includes benefits. So it really takes care of you. And I think that that's an important thing, especially in construction. So you're not working 60 years, you're working less amount of time and getting paid more. And the wages are at their all-time high right now.
Yeah. I imagine younger people would be interested in that, especially if you're
You know,
willing to work with your hands and you feel good outside and, you know.
you do, and you walk away from something knowing that you created something and that when you have a desk job or a job in an office, you go home and you're kind of like, oh, no, I haven't been outside all day. And I talked to some of the women that have gone into the trades and they absolutely love it, just being outside and, the camaraderie and, all of that. It really is helpful. People can feel confident and proud of their roles. I think that's when it really starts to kick in. And I'm hoping that's starting to change. I really
Great.
am.
This must be a challenge to then work for construction marketing.
Yes.
Does it mean that construction companies are focusing all of their funds on finding new employees, or how does that work for you?
The problem is that most of them have not most of them, many of them do not have a digital presence right now. They haven't, you know, invested in a website. They don't have social media, and therefore they're not able to communicate with the younger generation or with most of the people who are out there, including most of their customers. So I really help smaller businesses get on board. I help them with their website. I help them get their social media set up. I'm also working with plenty of others that are already there and already working on it. I think that the recruiting we do is extremely different than normal recruiting because the experienced tradespeople that they are looking for, they're not on Monster or Indeed.
Hmm.
They're already employed. So if you want to take someone, and it's a pretty big move. If you want to take somebody from a role that they're already in that they might be happy with, you really have to intrigue them with something interesting. So, we have done many things to try to change up our recruiting because it can't just be the traditional recruiting. It just doesn't work that way. We can't just keep saying we're hiring, we're hiring, we're hiring. There's no one there to hire. So you really have to see who you can get and, move them around and really, really work on that pipeline because if we can get kids, into that pipeline, then in a couple of years, we should be able to fulfill all these jobs. But right now, we're still going to be struggling. So I wouldn't say that they are putting a lot of their marketing into it. I don't feel like they're putting it into it in the correct way because I don't think that they're comfortable with digital marketing. And I think that they shy away from it a little bit because they don't understand it. And that's kind of why we come in and my agency comes in and we kind of say, hey, give it to us and let us do it. You guys go ahead and build and do things that we could never do. And we'll do
Yes.
this. And so try to get them to understand that they don't have to understand it or be afraid of it. Just let us do our job and we'll help you. We had one school, training school, that had less than 100 people sign up for their open house. And a year later, we had worked really hard in the area to spread the word and talk to the schools. And we had over 600 people sign up. And so they
Excellent.
had to split the day into 2 days, and now they're building another training center. So I do think it's working. We're seeing some very, very exciting development. So I'm hoping that continues.
Fantastic. What kinds of things do you need to create for the audience? I assume you need to be quite innovative because it's different than what younger people are used to seeing on social media, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I think it's a couple of things. So if we're marketing to a younger generation, we really want to show them that you can make a change, you can make a difference in the world, in your community. You can build something that you can be proud of. Not you have the freedom to do the things you want to do without being under a big corporate umbrella. Those are the kind of things that I think our younger generation are looking for. Whereas when we're talking to people who are a little bit older, we really like to introduce them to the fact that these companies will give you full benefits for yourself, for your family. They'll give you pension, they'll give you 401k. They have incredible safety laws, they have ongoing training so you can continue to advance your career. There's so many things that people just aren't aware of, but it really depends on who your target audience is. So, we're really excited to have so many women entering the trades right now. And, we always highlight that just not because we want to differentiate one from the other, but because it is you know, a- it's a job that I think both can do. There are, situations where a woman can do something better than a man can do something better than a woman, and it's just in any industry, really. And this is one of them. So no longer is it just a man's field. It's definitely become something that women are looking at, especially welding. For some reason, women are
Hmm.
really good welders.
Oh,
Very exciting. Yeah,
know that. Wow.
they are.
Do you know why that might be?
They said it's just the attention to detail. It's
Okay.
just the having still hands, the attention to detail, the perfectionism, you know, we take our time. I don't know, but most of the women I meet have moved into the welding side of
Hmm.
it, which could be a creative thing. I'm not really sure, but they seem to really enjoy it. I just interviewed a girl who just absolutely loves it. And I think they enjoy being accepted by the men in the industry because the men are very accepting. Number one, they need the help because
Yeah.
they don't have enough people. So they don't care if you're a woman or a man, they need help. So, just being able to come in there and show that you can do what you can do, I think has been really helpful for some of their, just their self-worth,
Self,
I guess.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
self-esteem. And do you ever use interns or people that you're trying to recruit to help you with content or
Yes.
anything like that?
Yeah, so I just got back from visiting a bunch of my accounts where we will sit down with the apprentices, first years through 5 years, and just kind of talk to them about, you know, what made them come into this role. And mostly they have talked to somebody who, mentioned it to them or they saw it, on digital marketing and, they kind of were a little nervous, but they usually go in and have an interview and kind of see that everything is very simple and people are there for you and it's not like they're going to put you out on a site and not know what you're doing, so it's pretty simple. And then they'll talk to you about, we'll have the apprentices talk about, the camaraderie of being with your team and completing something. We just put a post out for a really big job that's happening in Pennsylvania, and it's been kind of like building for a while, but it's been taking a long time to get started. And we put a post of the first crew to be on the job site, which is kind of exciting. They're the first ones there, kind of like they're walking on the moon, right? And so we have a picture of them, and we just said, the first crew on this job. And, by the end of the day, the post had like 50,000 views and 20,000 engagements, and because it's exciting. And I think people are starting to see that as more of an exciting thing. You know, we're here to build this massive, building. And I work with a lot of guys out in Las Vegas, and they talk about how exciting it is to build some of these incredible resorts that they have out
Hmm.
there and some of the engineering like nightmares that they're able to figure out, which it's a challenge, but everyone loves to be able to figure that out. So it's exciting, I think, as long as we keep that excitement and, we make sure they're taken care of and accepted, then I'm hoping that we can change that conversation. Because, I mean, high schools are trying, but it's going to take a while to get that whole thing to change. And I think we did think about it. I think one of the things that we struggle with is the parents, to be honest.
Hmm.
The parents just aren't comfortable with that role. So I work with another group that does as a webinar for parents so that they can understand the opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine going to college, that there's a huge amount of loans and that you have to pay off, and I assume it's not quite the same in the construction industry. Is
Yes.
that the case?
Yeah, there. So, most of the apprenticeships or internships that we deal with in construction are paid,
Hmm.
and they're paid well. And so to, graduate after a 4 or 5 year internship with a very highly in demand essential skill and not have any debt and have your own truck and have your own place and have your own this and that because you've been paid for 4 years is pretty impressive. And, you know, coming out of college, I know I went to college because none of this was known when I was younger,
Hmm.
but, you have no money, you don't have a job. Well, you might have a job, but you're starting at the bottom, you gotta work your way up, and you just went through 4 years of trying to work your way up. So it's I don't know, I think it might have a faster, I guess you're going to come to terms with what your life's gonna be like faster than if you go to college and you're kind of waiting around for something to happen. This kinda just gives you direction, and when we say career path, it really gives you the actual career path. It's not just like, well, you're going to go into marketing and then you might do this or you might do that. But this is like, you're going into this skill and you're going to be a professional. You can become a master plumber, and once you're a master plumber, then you can hire plumbers under you and never leave your, never leave your office. But, it's great to get that experience. And we all know how much it costs when the air conditioning goes out or we need something done. And those prices aren't going down because these guys and girls are getting paid more because there's less of them. They're more in demand than anything right now.
I keep thinking about how much, if you have a professional degree in marketing, for example, most people that I know in marketing work all the time.
Yeah.
It's like you may work 9 to 5 and then, go home and do some more work. Or
And then you
if
go
you
home and you
work,
answer your
Mhm.
emails, right?
Yeah, you're like, and I imagine if you're in construction, you work during the day and
You
then you
do,
go,
and you have set and you it's not like you can go home and do some extra welding before bed, right?
right.
It's not like that, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a job that you can actually walk away from, and not even just walk away from it that day, but you can walk away from it and see what's changed. And,
Hmm.
there's some really exciting new technology that's come out in the construction industry. This company called Trimble, and they've come out with this hard hat that it's like all virtual reality. You can walk into like a job site and you can see where everything's going to go, so that when you go in there, you know exactly where it goes. And that kind of new technology is exciting to our younger generation as well. The fact that they get to come on site and use that type of, technology is just that's a major seller. But I do think it does make a big difference because most of the people I know, like I don't do what they have a degree in anyway.
Hmm.
Whatever we went to college for, we kind of just went to show that we have the discipline to go unless we did something specific. And
Hmm.
this just like that. This is just another way of doing something extremely specific that you're going to training for. But in this case, you get paid. And I often say, this is an opportunity that we have right now. I would take it because who knows how long that's going to happen for, right? I mean,
Hmm.
once we get this pipeline rolling and we have tons of people in construction and wanting these jobs, you never know if the opportunities won't be as great as they are right now.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I imagine it's just misperception and people don't really know how good it could be.
It takes a
Yeah.
long time to and just to help people understand that whole
Hmm.
blue collar thing,
Yeah.
because I mean it's when I show up at like one of my clients, everyone has like a massive pickup truck and or a Jeep or whatever. And it's the same thing as if you show up in an office and everybody has nice sedan. It's just a different world, and it's
Yeah.
just what kind of person you are. Are you an outdoorsy person? Are you someone who likes to have hands on and be working on something? I know that a lot of guys who work in offices can't wait to get home and go outside and
Yeah.
do the yard work, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of people that would actually be a lot happier, I think, doing stuff like this. We
I
just have to
imagine
make
so.
sure they realize that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a challenge from both your clients and your side, it sounds like.
Yeah. And the digital but the thing I love about digital marketing is that you can track everything. So
Yeah.
every single time I post something to social media, I can track it and tell my client exactly how many people read it or saw it or, reacted to it. Whereas, you put up a billboard, you put up a sign, you have no idea. But the fact that we can track all that now is just
Hmm.
amazing. And I just
Yeah.
absolutely love that for them because we're able to actually give them those figures so they know, are we going in the right direction? Are we not going in the right direction? And that's just been a great break.
Well, what channels are resonating the most for you? What?
But it's funny. So I do LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and Instagram.
Hmm.
And kind of there's a little bit of reason for each of them. LinkedIn is kind of becoming the new Facebook. LinkedIn used to just be, jobs and recruiting, and now it's more of an advertising tool, which Facebook has kind of turned into an advertising tool for companies. We try to do as much organic advertising as we can, like so we don't have to pay the extra for the paid ads unless we absolutely have to. So both of those channels do very well. Instagram is great for a lot of these trades enthusiasts are on them, and they really help promote the trades to a lot of the young people. We have some of the girls out there that have like HVAC Jess, and there's just a bunch of them that really promote a great message to everyone about the roles. And then X is really, it's our best communication through the schools because most of the schools are on Twitter or X because that's how they communicate with their districts. The buses are running late, so a lot of the parents and a lot of the schools are on there. So when we're trying to reach out to the schools to say, we want to talk to you about this, they've been very responsive on that platform. So really all four have been very useful. In the beginning, when I first started doing this, Facebook was always bringing me the most leads, but now it's really close between Facebook and Instagram. They're probably the two. We don't really use Twitter in that manner, but Instagram is also our number one engagement platform. So people will talk to you back and forth, ask you questions, talk through things, and so that is very important as well. So there's really been a reason for all of them. Now, I love TikTok and many of the other ones too, but I'm working with an industry who most of them barely want to have a website. They certainly don't want to use anything that's outside of the norm.
Hmm.
It's just comfortable for them. And I think that, you know, I feel comfortable with those channels. I don't think that I know everything about them and stay very up to speed on everything that's going on in those channels. So I think that those are the ones I feel the most confident about. I would definitely say we will expand when we need to get our word out there. But right now, these four are working very well.
Are you primarily focused on social? Do you do any Google or,
I
any
do
just.
not do the Google ads. We do Facebook paid ads and Instagram paid ads and LinkedIn paid ads and social media and website landing pages and things like that. But we do not do the Google ads just because it's so involved, just the whole auctioning and all that, that you almost need an agency that only does that.
Mhm.
You can't, I feel like you really can't do both efficiently. And especially in my industry, because the construction companies are not going to spend the money to have their pages come up at the top. They're just not going to pay the money that you're going to see Nike pay or, Adidas or something. And so it's kind of a waste of their money in some situations. So if they want to do that, I would refer them to another agency. I mean, I worked at a nonprofit and they gave me $10,000 ads. And I mean, I think I would have been out in like 4 weeks. I mean, it goes quick. It's really expensive, but I mean, it works. But it's like we are really trying to find more creative ways to do it than just to throw money at it because they just don't. I guess they really never have had to have so much money towards marketing as they do right now because right now is when they're pretty desperate.
Makes sense. I imagine also, for search in particular, people are not searching for, how to become a welder.
No, it's true. They really aren't. Because if they become a welder, they probably someone told them about it. Their
Mhm.
dad was one, their brother was one, their cousin was one. So right now it's very word of mouth. And,
Yeah.
we try to get them once they are at least a little bit interested and kind of take them from there. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're not really searching for it. Again, you're right. It's not really something people are looking for. We
Yeah.
need to find them.
It's more of
So
an inspirational
yeah,
play, right?
it's
You have to
something that we
inspire.
really need to work on.
Yeah. It's more push than pull, I guess.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's we did a campaign where we asked the schools to let us come out and talk to the students. We don't want to do a job fair because there's going to be, Delta Airlines there and everyone's going to want to talk to Delta Airlines. No one's going to want to talk to the construction company, but if the construction company has the attention of the entire grade, during that time frame, then they get a lot more response from them because they actually do hear the full story. So that's really helped a lot. We just really have to differentiate and, make ourselves known and really just communicate as much as we can.
Sounds very challenging. There was a company, it was a tech company, really, but they had a really unique way of hiring and incentivizing new employees where they gave them a crazy amount of cash wrapped in bacon and a self-portrait and a whole bunch of beer and all
Yeah.
kinds of different things. I don't know if that's,
You
do you
know,
ever do any kind of incentives for new?
I just got some pictures from a client of mine who brought in, they had a graduating class of apprentices. And I mean, these guys were walking out with more Milwaukee tools and DeWalt tools than I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, what? I think that every year you get more and more and more tools. And then they have apprentice competitions during the year that are really exciting. They take the top of every, area and they compete in all these different trades. And, some of the prizes, I mean, they're like backing trucks up to the door to pick up all the tools they're getting. So they have so many incentives.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible, and you just don't realize it, and you just don't know that these companies are like, "Try our new tool." They want you to, they want you to use it and learn, and so they're definitely the ones, especially right now when we're getting just, getting more and more people out there, you're the people that they want out there using it. So if you do it right now, you're getting a lot of advantages. You're getting, I mean, we're doing signing bonuses. We're doing, so much beneficial stuff to get people to realize the opportunity that I think once the opportunity is done being realized, that, you know, they might not be getting all that anymore. So,
Yeah.
it's really good to get started and get going. And I keep telling people that I'm like, don't wait around because we're not waiting for the trade shortage. We're in it. Like it's here. It's been here for a
No,
good 2 years and we're working on it and we're gonna come out of it. So
now is the time. Do you ever see college grads switching over to the
yes,
trades?
I just talked to a guy. He went to college. What did he go to college for? I just interviewed him. I can't remember what his degree was, but he went and worked for about 2 years and he just wasn't happy. He just was not happy at all. And he came out of it and he went into the apprenticeship, one of the apprenticeship training courses, and he's going into HVAC. He's going to be a technician and he's going to be commercial. He won't be residential, he'll be commercial. And he is a fifth year right now. So he's getting ready to graduate. He already has a full time job with the company he's been working for the last 5 years as an apprentice. So he's basically just continuing his job at the same place, but he's going to be getting promoted. He's going to be a journeyman. He's going to, have all of these additional advancements. And he's so much happier.
Mhm.
So, he said, of course, it would have been better for me to do this before the college degree, but I'm glad I did it. And, I think that if it's something that people want to do, then they should absolutely do it. There's nothing that it could hurt, going forward to have that educational background when you're going into more learning, like
Yeah.
going to get your master's,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So I'd prefer to just do it once, but people want to do it again, they can. Yeah, it's amazing what I see them do. Like I'll be at their training center and everything is right there. They're like everything is prefabricated to look exactly like the job site. So like when these guys go out into the job site, they're going to know exactly what they're doing. And I think that means so much because I've been in so many jobs where I walked in and I had no clue what I was doing and I had no clue what I was supposed to do. And this just gives you the confidence that you can just walk in and know what you're doing. And that means a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Victoria, how do you find your clients? How do clients find you to work?
was very lucky, and I started working with some clients in Georgia, and honestly, I have done so little marketing. It has all been word of mouth. And one of the things that's great is, we build very, very well, my agency, when we bring on a client, we build a very, very relevant and engaged audience for them on social media so that they are able to allow those people to help them amplify. Just like I said, when people have 126,000 views by the end of the day, that's because their audience is doing that for them. And so when people see things I put out or my agency puts out, they say, "Oh, who does your social media?" And that person comes to me. So I've been growing so fast that I have not had time to market my business at all. This is the first time I've been able to actually slow down and even talk about it because it's been like, I need your help. I need your help. I need your help. And everyone needs your help. And when you have, I've taken a deep dive into this and I have been in this industry and I know how things are working and having all that knowledge again, it's like it's incredible and essential and they need help and we are actually able to show them that we can help them and that means a lot. So it's really been word of mouth. I have had a few people that maybe I reached out to. I'm not really even sure. I know I've hired a lot of people though to come in and help me. So that's been good. Yeah.
How big is your team? How many people
I
are on
mean,
it?
I think right now we only have like 5 and then, we have people that we contract out to
Mhm.
for certain things. If we don't have a designer that can do this or that, we will, bring somebody in because we need to just stay versatile. We need to change with the trends. We need to change practically every day. So we're always just like researching and trying to come up with better products. And
Mhm.
luckily, my team is as passionate about the industry and making this change so hopefully, along with all the other groups that are doing the same thing, we're going to be able to pull them out of this.
Yeah, it's be necessary, sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. And I'm not really sure, what the plans would be, but that's why I think that people are getting paid so much because it's essential. We really need this stuff to happen. And if you're going to put your time into learning how to build something, that we need, we're going to pay you and we're going to take care of you. And that's kind of what, you know, when I deal with the contractors, because I deal with the contractors as well, they're like, yeah, $10,000 signing bonus for a plumber right now. And I'm like, okay. They're like, we need a Facebook ad campaign. We need, 50 plumbers right now. And it's not easy, but, we try to do the best we can.
Interesting. Are you using AI much in your business?
I think AI is great and it's good for certain things. The problem is that we are so specific about little things that I would probably have to spend like a year getting it to understand what I need it to do. I think some of the things it's good at is summarizing some of the longer documentation I have to look at or, contracts. A lot of times we're working on helping with some legislative issues that they may have for construction workers and reading that kind of thing and getting up to speed on those things, but as for every day, it it doesn't do anything for us with images or any of that. It can definitely help us with metrics and up to date metrics on you know how many people are we thinking we're going to need, in the next couple years and things like
Mhm.
that. Um, right now, it's still so personal in this industry. Everyone wants to talk to people and they want to communicate. And, we really can't automate too much or we kind of lose something. That's just the industry we're in. And it's just because it's uncertain and people just really want to talk to other people and have that kind of bonding experience. So,
Yeah.
but it's definitely going to be helping. It's definitely coming along. And if anything, it is building jobs for these people because the amount of energy that we need is over the top. And so these construction workers are going to have plenty of jobs. So that's a good thing.
What shifts are you seeing in marketing for construction that you imagine will be prominent maybe next year?
I think that almost all marketing will be digital.
Mhm.
They say 90% of consumers will go to your social media pages before they'll work with you or for you. And I mean, a lot of people do it. I do it. People look for reviews now, they look for things like that. So I also tell my customers, I'm like, look, this is not going away. Like, if anything, this is going to become more and more and more useful. And, it's good for us as consumers because we can watch out for ourselves. Now, we do have to be careful with, some of the scams and things that happen online, but, as long as we're aware of them. But it also is helpful for the industries as well because social media is probably one of the least expensive ways to communicate to a target audience that is pretty much infinite. You can reach as many people as you're able to reach, and there's no limit to that. And when you do want to add some money to the the social media marketing, you can target down to job title and demographics that you were never able to do before. So people are giving more information into social media. So we're able to kind of use that to market to them. So I don't see that going away. I see that becoming more and more popular. I think that when it comes to the targeting and the geofencing and things like that, I don't think that that's going to go anywhere. There's just too many laws against, targeting people in marketing. And I just I don't do that. And I don't think it's going to last very long. So I don't recommend it, but I do recommend everything else. And I recommend having a digital presence because it tells people who you are. And I don't want to work for someone I don't know. I don't see them. I don't see them training together. I don't see them celebrating holidays together. I don't see them helping the community together. And and if I do, then I might look at it and be like, "Hey, I want to work there," or I want to buy from them. So I think it's a good way to build a persona for your organization.
Very much the know, like, and trust, right? You have to
Yes.
know them, of them first, and then like what they're putting out, and then
Exactly, like, at least get to know them, and then
yeah,
you see an ad, you might be like, "Oh, I know them," and you're more likely to respond.
yeah,
And a lot
exactly.
of people do respond to any ad, but then when you go back, they don't even remember who they applied for. So, it's really, it's important to kinda make that to save your own time as
Mhm.
well as theirs. So
What do you see for the future of your business in the next 6 to 12 months?
well, I wish I could say that I would like to sit back and relax and enjoy doing what I'm doing right now, but I can't. So I am hoping to continue to grow. I want to help everyone. I just think about different states and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not helping Ohio and I'm not helping, you know, and so I want to get out there and just help. I want to help the contractors, number one, and help them to not fear this digital presence and to embrace it. And I want to help the students and help them understand that they have this great opportunity in front of them if they want. And I want to help the experienced tradespeople realize that they need to be taken care of in their roles and they're essential workers and they need to, be treated that way. I guess my passion for the industry and for this whole kind of change is not going away. And so I'm hoping to continue to grow and to reach other areas that I haven't been to yet, and more schools and more kids. And when I go into the training centers and I see them working and laughing and enjoying themselves, it just gives me such pleasure. So I just am not ready to give that up.
Awesome. Sounds like you found a calling.
Yeah, it's great. It's been really great.
Good. That's really
Yes.
good to hear. Well, Victoria, this has been really fun chatting with you. I can't believe it's already close to the hour at this point.
I know. Oh my gosh, you're right. I don't even realize it. That's why I'm saying this is good because otherwise I talked to my husband about it and he's like, my gosh, really? So I need someone else to talk to about it.
Well, it's fascinating. How can people reach you if they would love to chat with you or reach out and talk to you about more work?
Yeah, no. So my website is Luna Wolf Media. And the reason that I call myself Luna Wolf Media, I came up with that name when I was already working in construction. And I've always been obsessed with wolves. And there's one female in the wolf pack called the Luna Wolf, and she is the dominant female that works with the male. And that's what I say when I'm presenting to 300 men, which sometimes is still the case. I'm like, I'm not here to differentiate myself from you. Like, I want to work with you. And so that's kind of what I'm saying is, we're all in this together. And so that's my website, lunawolfmedia.net. My email is Victoria Rauch at lonawolfmedia.net. And you can just email me, go to my contact us. I'm also on LinkedIn, my name and my company. So you can look up either one and
Super.
plenty of references upon request.
Excellent. Well, I hope that you don't get inundated with too much more work, but it sounds like you're ready for it.
I'm ready for it. I
Yeah.
say I'm not, but I am. I'm ready
Yeah.
for I love when everything comes together and you get to see some change. I mean, I guess I'm one of those people too that wants to see things change. And, I think that
Yeah.
just might be in all of us.
You're part of that change.
Yes, I'm hoping.
You said that you love it when everything comes together. It reminds me of the A team. Do you remember the A team?
Yes, I do. We just dated ourselves a lot, but that's okay. That's okay because I
I love it
do.
when a plan comes together.
Yes, I might have to call my team that because that's kind of funny because we do. We run into technical issues or something and we all just work it out and it's lovely. It's great, you know.
Yeah. Being flexible or being adaptable and
Yes. We have to
figuring
be
it out
adaptable.
is underrated, right?
Yeah, I
People
mean,
who can
we
figure it
have
out.
right now at Christmas, I thought, oh, we're going to have some slow time. But no, everyone's like, "Oh, we did a Toys for Tots and we did a this and we did, and so now we need to get all that out. And so we're working probably more than we, you know, we figured we'd be at Christmas, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's all good stuff.
Good for you. Thank you so much for being on the show and
Yeah, it's
really
been a
with
pleasure.
yes.
Loved talking to you. And
Great.
yes, I appreciate you letting me talk about my passion.
Absolutely. It sounds like we need more people in construction.
Oh, yeah, we sure do.
Hopefully this will help that a little
Yes, I'll
bit.
continue to chase them down.
Yeah.